passive income from property investing. In this video, I'll be answering two very important questions. First, why should you get passive income from property investing? And second, how do you create that passive income? My name is Daniel Wood. I'm one of the founders of Momentum Property Education, who teaches property investing to investors from all over the world so that you can start building your portfolio and live that dream life you deserve. Let's jump right in to why you should invest in property. Why is it such a popular asset, and why has it created the most millionaires over the last 200 years? Studies have shown that the most common ways people become millionaires is through property investing. And there are 5 main reasons why. So number 1, passive income. Property is a great way to create passive income. So let's jump into the 2 questions I have always about that. The first is, why is passive income so important? And the second, why is passive income from property so special? So let's dive into that. So first, why do we want passive income? Why are we so excited to get passive income? Well, growing up, I don't know if you learned the same thing as I did, but growing up, I learned that I was supposed to get a good education and then a nice stable job, because that would give me a stable income and I would be fine for my life. Well, events happened and they proved that the world can quickly change, and all of a sudden that income you knew was stable gets cut off, and all of a sudden you're adrift. Now, what do you do in a situation like that? I mean, it's not your fault. You followed the system, right? You got yourself that education, you got yourself the job, and all of a sudden you're there without an income. For most people that are in that situation, they don't have a choice. They are in trouble. It is a tough situation to be in. But if you have passive income streams, other sources of capital, other sources of income that are coming in no matter what, well, that will allow you to pay your bills even if you don't go to work. And as you grow your passive income streams, they can allow you to not have a job and instead live a life where you have control over your time and where you can decide if you want a job or if you don't, if you want to travel, if you don't, if you want to spend time with your family or hobbies or following your dreams. Passive income gives you that power. Now, why is passive income from property so special? What is special about property? Well, property is an asset where you can rent it out, right? You can rent out a property to a tenant. That will give you a stable monthly income. And what's great is there are only 2 things that people will always be paying no matter what. You might not, in a time where you're low on funds, you might not go to a restaurant. You might not buy a bunch of new clothes. You might not buy a new car. But you always need to buy food, and you always want a place to live. Those are the 2 things that you stop paying last. You will pay every other bill after paying these first 2, because you know that is what it takes to put a roof over the head. Exactly. You are the roof over their head and the food on the table. So it's a great stable source of income. And that is what allows you to get that money coming in every month like clockwork, and gives you that stable, secure life that doesn't require you working. That's why we love passive income from property. So let's jump to number 2 here. Why should we invest in property? Number 2 is that it's an incredibly stable asset, right? It's an incredibly stable asset in that it's always going to be there. It's a physical asset. You can see it, you can touch it, and it's there. It's not going to go away. It's not a fad. It's been around for hundreds of years, and we're going to need somewhere to live for hundreds of years. So you know it's going to be there. It's not something where you're going to make $1 million over a weekend and then lose it the next Monday, right? It's going to be there for the future. And it's also considered one of the most secure investments out there. So that's the 3rd reason it's one of the most secure investments out there. And let's just put that into perspective. Obviously, I teach property investing and I'm a property investor. So I'm all pro property, right? I'm going to be saying this is the most secure asset out there, right? Well, who else says it's a secure asset? Well, put it this way, what if you were investing in other assets? You could invest in crypto, precious metals, stocks, funds, all these different things. Now, if you go to your banker and you say, hey, I would like a loan to invest in a fund or invest in crypto or in something else, what will the bank generally tell you? Exactly. Usually they'll say no. For a select few, they might say yes if you've had a long experience of success, right? Then they might say, all right, sure, we'll give you some leverage on that and we'll increase it. And for some stock investors, some brokers, they'll give you some leverage. Yes. But what do you need zero experience for? What will the banks always lend for? Property, right? If you're buying a house, the banks are always open to that discussion. Yes, they might turn you down occasionally, but they don't turn it down based on your experience. According to the banks, any idiot can make a good property investment. Now, imagine if you are actually educated and you are actually a little smart, like I'm sure you are, right? You're watching this video. You already have that passion to learn and experience and grow. So what do you think you could do? If any idiot can make money from it, what does an educated investor make from it? Right? So that is one thing that tells us where the banks hate risk, right? That's their number one fear is risk. They don't want to lose money. They follow, what's the number one rule of investing? Don't lose money, right? That's the bank's big philosophy. So where do they put their money? In property, in stable, secure assets. So that's what we love. The great thing as well is the fourth reason we love property is the high returns. Now, isn't that interesting? You get the passive income that's coming in every month that allows you to live off of it. You have a stable asset, which is considered the most secure asset in the world, right? I mean, you've heard this before. I'm not, telling you anything new here. It's considered the most stable investment in the world. But then you look at the returns, and this is where it gets really exciting. I mean, the stock market will, on average, over a period of time, make between 8 and 12% per annum. Now, some people beat the stock market as investors and make more. But if you look at funds, in Tony Robbins' book, Money Master the Game, he analyzed and they saw that 96% of all funds that are run by professional fund managers, 96% fail to beat the market average. Which means if the professionals are failing to meet the market average, it's very tough for individuals to do so. But as a property investor, properties gain value in approximately the same speed as the stock market, right? So you have the same capital appreciation gain and you have the passive income. Now, the stock market, you can get a dividend from stocks. But what is that usually at? Yeah, usually in the range maybe 1 to 4% per annum. From properties, you should easily be making 2x, 3x more than that, even more sometimes in passive income. So you see where I'm going with this? If you're having the same capital appreciation and 2x, 3x the passive income, does that say your returns are generally higher than the stock market? Of course, it's easy math, right? And of course, again, some people will beat the stock market and make incredible returns, and that's fine. And it's the same thing as property investors. I'm giving you numbers where I'm saying, you might make 8, 12, 16% return per annum on your passive income, plus a capital appreciation of 8 to 10%. Now, that's good. That's great, even. Are there people who make more than that? Yes, of course. Are there people who make less? Yes, of course. But do you see how the average is higher than most other asset classes? And that's what we're after. If we can just be an average property investor, you're making more than even most of the best investors in another asset class. What happens if you become a great property investor? Exactly, right? Exciting? I hope you're excited. This is why I get so excited about property investing. The opportunity is huge, and I'm about to show you the 3 simple steps for how you can start building passive income from property. But first, the 5th reason why we invest in property is that long-term wealth. And it comes from these other 4. If you're making a passive income every month, meaning to live off your asset, you don't have to sell it. That's one of the problems with precious metals. If I have gold and I want to live off of my gold, what do I have to do? I have to sell some of my gold, right? And it might go up in value, but I'm decreasing my number of gold bars, right? So over time, my asset base is going down. But because of the passive income from property, I don't have to. It's coming in no matter what. And with it being so stable, secure, and with the high returns, over time, I build an incredible amount of wealth. Now, we have a methodology we work with called momentum investing, where we'll actually use your portfolio to have it grow organically. So instead of having it, as the gold, where you'll have a bunch of gold bars and then you have to sell them off over time to pay your bills, properties, you can have properties, and then over time that portfolio will actually grow and increase to more properties. I'm not going to go into that in depth in this video. We have it in other videos. You can subscribe to this channel and we'll talk a lot about momentum investing. Or I have a surprise for you at the end of this video where you can go and learn more. So stay tuned. Now, you ready to jump into how do you start creating passive income from property? Yeah, me too. Let's get into it. All right. So how? There are 3 simple steps to property investing. The first step is you have to have the ability to find property deals. If you can find a good property deal, you are already ahead of the game, right? That's the first key, your ability to find deals. The second one is to analyze them. Because you might believe you have a good deal, but if you don't know how to do what we call your due diligence, meaning your research to see what will the rents be, what is the value, what are the costs, what is the overall trajectory of this area, is the values in this area going down or is everyone moving away? You know, what is going on in this area and what is going on with this property? You have to be able to analyze that to see, this is a good deal. This really is. And then you have to be able to calculate it. You have to be able to run the numbers and see, am I beating, the stock market? Am I getting these high averages? Am I getting the returns I'm looking for? Right? So that's the first part. When you master that, you will start getting amazing deals in. You'll be able to pick and choose between them and then go out and do them. When you buy them, you have to be able to do step 2, which is project management. So you have to be able to project manage your deals. Why is that important? Well, have you ever done a home improvement, refurbed your kitchen or bathroom or just made an extension or anything? Now, from your experience, does that always go according to plan and according to budget? Well, a little up and down, right? Occasionally yes, often no. So your ability to project manage a property deal becomes really, really important. Because if you've found a great deal, you've analyzed it, and you've run the numbers, and then your project management skills aren't good and the costs go up, well, what does that do to the deal? Well, that changes the numbers, right? And it will reduce the quality of the deal. So you got to be good at project managing. That's kind of taking the theory of finding, analyzing, and calculating the deal and putting it into play. That is the number 2. That's, taking the action part of that. So that's really, really important. And it's something we work on with our students a lot to make sure that their deals go according to plan. So it's super important. Now, the third part is a question I get all the time. The third step on this is money. Now, if I find a great deal and I've analyzed it, I calculate it, I know I'm a good project manager, but I can't afford it, what do I do then? Now, money is the engine that makes this whole thing go around, that powers all of this. It comes down to money. So how do we find money? Well, actually, there are 25 sources of capital that you can use to do your property deals. In addition to like the bank financing, right? Just for your deposit, there are 25 sources of capital. That's what we work with. And what's so exciting is that only one of them is your own savings. So if you have savings, if you have a lot of money, great. You push that in and this starts spinning and you start growing and you can start using the momentum model, which I will teach you about in another video. But what if you don't have money? What if you're not a millionaire already, right? What if you're trying to build your million through property, like the most common way of becoming a millionaire? If you don't have the money, how do you do it? Well, you use the other 24 sources. So that's super, super exciting, and that is how we reach success in property. Now, if you want to learn more about these, if you want to go in deeper into how does money work in property, how do you actually project manage, and how do you find these deals in the first place, we've created a free online course that I would love to invite you to. I've added the link in the description of this episode. So if you click that link, you can register for free, and we'll show you the 3 simple steps to property investing, how to do it, and guide you through. So click the link below. Now, if you're interested in more videos where you learn about property, obviously that's the best step. It's an online course, it's a video course, and we'll teach you these steps, how to do it, how to implement it, and how to start building your passive income. If you want to learn more, though, from our YouTube channel, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every week we come out with new interviews with some of the top investors from all around the world. And we come out with videos every week like this where we teach the basics of property investing and how you can get started. So really now, your next step, go and join the free course, subscribe to our channel, and then just start looking at this. How do I find the deals? How do I analyze them? How do I calculate them? How do I project manage? And how do I find the money? Because in the end, these are the 5 reasons you want to learn property investing. Thank you again so much for joining me here. Click the link below, join the free course, and we'll show you exactly how you can start creating your passive income. Thank you.